Hey, hi, welcome to the biology of bullying, and I am Dr. JoNeil Conley, your bullyologist. So what is a bullyologist? Actually, I'm a registered nurse. I'm a doctorate of organizational management and leadership. I am a healer, speaker, teacher, coach, all of the things. And I have been studying bullying in nursing for almost 20 years. I wrote my doctoral dissertation on bullying in the operating room. And coming soon, my book, The Biology of Bullying, will be out approximately May 5th if you're watching this later. So why is this important to me? And why have I chosen to start this channel? One of the things that I notice when I study and I look around for workplace bullying and all of that, it's like, prevention. Yes, that's important. And watch my lips. Organizations own that piece of it. And if you are a leader in an organization that isn't working on that or owning it, we'll talk in a future episode. But what about you? What about you, the individual who is bullied? And let me tell you, we all are. I'm going to let that sink in. We are all bullied. And what happens in our nervous system, and that's, I think, where I'm going to separate myself, is that in your nervous system and the polyvagal piece of this, if you haven't studied Dr. Stephen Borges, Deb Dana's, go do that. But your nervous system, your vagus nerve, and I always tell everybody, the only thing I learned about the vagus nerve in nursing school was this. It's called the Valsalva maneuver. And you did the Valsalva maneuver before you gave verapamil. So your vagus nerve, and vagus stands for wandering. It goes from here all the way down. And it has branches. And it's an episode all in and of itself. But the portions I want to talk about are the ventral vagus, which is when we're regulated and we're co-regulated with others. Kumbaya. We know that. And then we have this parasympathetic section, which is we're stimulated, we're aroused. I say it's kind of like the emergency room on a full moon. That's that, because it has, and this is a piece I want to make sure you understand, that is activated when it senses danger. There's a concept called neuroception, meaning your body is scanning for danger. And some of the stuff, it was, again, when we were living on the deserts, it was scanning for saber-toothed tigers. Now it's scanning for the next door neighbor who's going to come and yell at us because we didn't mow exactly enough grass. And we have to recognize this environment that we live in right now. I live in the United States. If you're outside of the United States, I'm sure it's the same. Everybody is on high effing alert, meaning your neuroception is saying, not safe, not safe, not safe, not safe, not safe, not safe. And so this part of the body is activated. It's activated. It's aware. It's aware. And when you've had that long enough, all of a sudden you become dead. You've heard of the fight, flight, freeze? You're there. Freeze. I say, because I'm a nurse, I'm talking to my nurses, kind of like the morgue. You're done. You cannot do another thing. And in my profession, in nursing, we know that nursing bullying is rampant. And we'll get into that as we go along. But haven't you ever been just so dang exhausted? Watch my lips. Exhausted from this, that, the other thing, being on guard all the time, that you just can't take anymore. So that's kind of where we're going with this. And what happens when it goes on for so long is you come down with bully-itis. And bully-itis is actually a trauma to your nervous system. It is the same trauma as if you broke your leg. And I use 3 levels of this. Level 1 is you kind of stubbed your toe, you got a bruise, you dropped something on it, you got a bruise on your foot. It's going to heal, but it's ouchy for a while. It's ouchy for a while. Level 2 is when you sprain your ankle and you end up with that air cast, or you end up with, it's not broken, but it's sprained and it hurts like hell. And you've got to be immobilized and you got to watch what you're doing and all those things. And then level 3 is you break your ankle. Or if you're Lindsey Vaughn, you break your leg. And what happens then is you have to have plates and screws and surgery and physical therapy and all the things. And the piece that I think we don't recognize, it's never the same. It's never quite the same. I had surgery on my toe a long time ago, and my toe is just never the same. So keep in mind that all of those insults, all of those traumas that are coming at you build up. And like I've said before, I'm not talking about the bullies. That's a whole nother thing. I'm talking about you who has been bullied, who has that trauma, that residual inside of you. You're the ones I want to work with. We could talk about the bullies and we'll talk about the corporations and all of that. But what do? And there's a couple things right off the bat. And I've grabbed some of these strategies from other people here on YouTube. And Justin Chaffrey, forgive me for not saying your name right, says, okay, when you actually push your hands together and take a really deep breath. Push, 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 so you can't breathe anymore, and then you let up. And all that you can feel that release inside your system. Inside your system. And so the purpose of this channel, if you've hung around long enough, is to help you understand what to do with the trauma of bullying. We'll talk a bit about protection. We're going to talk a little bit about recovery, because I believe you can resist and recover from bully-itis, as I call it. But there's going to be some links below. One will be for what's called a COBUMS quiz. And for those in healthcare, it measures compassion fatigue, burnout, moral injury, and stress. And in my mind, that's a chicken-egg situation. Does the bullying contribute to the COBUMS? Does the COBUMS, I call it COBUMS, contribute to the bullying? Chicken, egg. But there'll be a link to take that quiz. There'll be some other information. I'm not 100% sure right now, but welcome. Glad to have you here. Make sure you subscribe. A lot more coming. Take care.